Hi there, Lindsay from Prairie Fire here. Just wanted to give a quick thank you on behalf of the staff and board of Prairie Fire to the Composing Winnipeg class at the University of Winnipeg for working with us on this project and for conducting the interviews. As well, a big thank you to all of the authors who took time out of their busy day to be interviewed for this project. Just to let you know, this is a video series, so we will be posting more videos as well, or have already, depending on when you're watching this. So please check our channel for additional content, and we really hope you enjoy. On with the interview.
Bonjour, Özten Shebagegit, Winnipeg and Dunji, Muzindudem, Anishinaabe, Jabba, Turkish-Cypriot and Dao. So that means, hello, my name is Özten. I'm from Winnipeg, from the Moose clan, and I am of the Anishinaabe and Turkish-Cypriot nations.
How do you pronounce your last name?
It's Shebagegit. It's I guess one of my cousins did some digging around, and she found out that our last name before treaty was Shebagegit, which means the sun is rising in Ojibwe. And so, I mean, I never really felt connected to Paul because it's an English last name, and I really wanted, I guess, my pen name to reflect both of the worlds I'm coming from. I guess I didn't really have a connection to my Turkish Cypriot roots here. It was more connected to my mother's side. But I guess growing up was weird because it's like I know I don't really like fully present as Native. So growing up, like I had all these Native friends, I had Native family, but I didn't really look the same. And when I was racialized or like people would comment on my race, it was coming from, you look Middle Eastern. So it's really a unique struggle because I guess mixed natives, we're kind of walking in three worlds opposed to two. It's weird because I grew up hating the North End, wanting to leave like my whole life. And then as I grew up, I realized what a unique place it was. And when I was living there, it wasn't like I was like thinking, I'm going to write about this place one day. I grew up thinking like, I can't wait to get out of this place one day. And then as I did start writing, I was like, I guess I was trying to write with like I was someone else who had like grown up somewhere else, and that wasn't working. It really wasn't working. And then as I started to, I guess, connect with my childhood in the North End and the things I had seen, and I started writing about them, I realized, okay, this is where I come from, and this is what I should, not what I should write about, but this is what I care about. And it would be, I guess, important to try to write for others who grew up in these places, because it's very difficult. So it's a unique struggle because I grew up thinking, I didn't understand this place, and then as I grew up and started taking like university courses, I realized what a unique place this is because, it was, I guess, it was one of the first places that like a lot of Native people had moved to after, the pass system was eliminated. So seeing it today, it's kind of like the urban reserve. So I started to appreciate it when I started to understand the history. I think when I was in grade 11, that's when I started thinking like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? And then I had read this terrible book and I was like, well, if this guy could get published, like why am I scared? And so I told my sister, I was like, I think I want to be a writer. I'm gonna study English. And then she was like, that's worse than being a musician. I kind of got freaked out. But then it was actually at UW. I think I was in grade 12. We went to the Aboriginal Film Festival. And then there was this guy talking, he was telling us about his life. And then he was saying, you know, all of us, we all have our certain purposes in life. Like someone here is going to be a doctor, someone here is going to be a teacher. And then he said, someone here is going to be a writer. Someone's going to write some beautiful stories for us. And then in my head, I was like, that's me. So right at that moment, I just ran with it right there. I guess this piece is really just about like me trying to make sense of the world and trying to find where like I fit in and the things I can do to try and, I guess, move forward. And there was one day where, you know, the path was just so flooded, and I saw a group of ducks just swimming like nothing had happened. So I was wondering, like, do they know this is the river is like rising like so drastically? And also there was so much uncertainty because I didn't know like if everything was going to flood or not. Like, you just kept reading about it in the news. There was so much anxiety with that on top of COVID, because it's like, what if everything floods and, like, you know, natural disaster on top of a pandemic? That would be really freaky. So I was trying to find solace in nature, and it really didn't. I guess the river has always been a place of solace, because like growing up in the North End, it was like I would find the river by like St. John's Park, and you know, you never really thought of it as like a river. You just took it for granted that it was there. So like if I ever needed like space to clear my mind, I would walk there. And then as I grew up, I kept doing it. And then it kind of became a crime scene, because my cousin April Carpenter, her body was found in the river. So then it started to become this like daunting place for me. But then I reconnected with it, like walking by the river during, you know, lockdown, and I found some peace. And then it's funny because then that's like exactly when the snow started melting, and like the places where I was walking, I couldn't walk there anymore. And then it's like, well, where do I go now? It really took learning the language to try and understand like how to move in this world, I guess, because it's a different worldview than English when you speak in, you know, native languages. Trying to understand like how colonization has impacted our worldviews, how things have changed, how much we've lost, but also how much we can recover and like pass on to others. You know, you grow up and you don't really think about it, because that's why I called this piece Winnipeg, because it means murky water, which that's how they were able to distinguish Winnipeg, was by the muddy rivers. And now when you come here, you don't really think of that. Winnipeg. We are the authors of our fate, so tell me why the world is burning. Tabula rasa is a powerful spell, but there is a certain melancholy in waiting for the river to crest. I used to walk by these murky waters to erase my anxiety, and I can't do that now. Do the ducks know any different? See, if everything flooded today, I don't know that Wajashk would save us again. Although there is mud to be found under the nails of the river's swollen body collection. Gijemanidu purified this earth before, and the animals say it's time for another cleanse, a new plague to wash the streets. I came out here to see the full moon, though I can't find her now, so I check if it's time for more sandbags. And it's silly, you know, To think we can press pause when every year is the hottest one yet. Anishinaabe knew how to name the trees. I carry a plastic card that tells me I should know too. Mine gun devolved into dog and Anishinaabe into Indian. We both sit at the window to watch the world go by. In my pocket, a red baby tongue that doesn't fit my mouth anymore. My mother choked on hers after the church failed to incinerate her grandmother's. Now I lie in bed with muddy shoes and dream of waves crashing into each other. How do I heal if I don't notice the time passing by?